Good morning and welcome to my word for the day. It's a beautiful day and I'm thankful. So I was driving in this morning and I was listening to the radio and I was looking around as I usually do, kind of appreciating my surroundings. And the word change came into my mind because I noticed, gosh, there's this new train, railroad tracks being built on my route, and I was hearing a story about the Kennedy Expressway being blocked off in part because it's time for more construction there. When is it not time for more construction on the expressways in Chicago? Well, not often. Anyway, the whole idea of change came to mind, and so that's what I'm going to talk about this morning is change. I'm Lee Watson. I am a business advisor. I am an entrepreneur. I'm an adventurer, and I'm a person who I believe notices change in the world, and I really like all the good words that I talk about here from time to time, the topics, the ideas, and I hope you do too. So I'm going to talk about change this morning. And what's one of the most interesting things about change is that so many of us, myself included often, we're resistant to it. Like, something's going to change in my life. There's some different way I have to do business. There's Chat GPT arrived and all this AI stuff that's changing so many things. And our first reaction is sometimes a combination of awe and reverence for this amazing stuff that's happening and these new ideas and inventions that are happening around us. And sometimes it's like, or maybe this comes with age, I don't know, but I don't think so. Sometimes it's caution, like, another change in the way I have to do things, another change in how my life is going to unfold. I don't know if you experienced that or not, but if you do, let me know about it. So here we are, and I want to thank everybody who watches this, by the way. I want to thank you for the little thumbs up and the hearts and the shares and the comments. The comments are really special to me. So if you're watching this live or even the replay, say something about what I'm talking about. And what would be even cooler is if you suggested a word or a thought or an idea, a concept that we could talk about on this show, because that's really what I like to do. This is life. Life is short, and we get to learn new things all the time, which is also part of change. So if you're interested in a little bit of that change, awesome. If you're resistant to that change, that's awesome too. It says something about how you think and how you make changes in your life, sometimes with difficulty. So, yeah, this is also coincidentally a couple of days after the change of seasons. We are now in the spring officially, and it still feels a bit like winter, but that's how the change of seasons often happens. It's a gradual thing. But here in Chicagoland, this particular year, we didn't have much winter. Not a lot of snow. I'm sure we're way below our average rainfall or snowfall. And what we're experiencing is, in fact, climate change. That's a change that most people agree is not a good thing. And of course, there are people who don't agree with the idea of climate change happening. And part of that is because there are cyclical changes in weather patterns and things like that. And so part of what we're experiencing could be cyclical in nature. But I think it's been pretty well established scientifically that people, us, our habits, we are changing the climate. Um, I think it's well established enough that that's not going to be a super controversial statement. And it may be difficult to turn it around, but I have faith in science. I have faith in God. And I believe that somehow we'll figure something out. Hopefully, we'll be able to change our habits, change the amount of pollution and the amount of um, gas we emit into the atmosphere. Um, I don't know. We do tend to be resistant to change. I don't know, for example, that fossil fuels are going to be eliminated as quickly as some people would like, partly because our our country here, the United States, was kind of designed after the Industrial Revolution to include what we call bedroom communities, the suburbs, the urban sprawl that happened, and without transportation in the form of cars and buses and things like that, it can be very, very difficult to get around. We haven't designed our living spaces around everything that we need. Um, I mean, when we hear about livable cities, what we hear about is cities where people can live and work and play and recreate and do all of that stuff uh, walking and using a bicycle or some other form of um, unobtrusive, unpolluting activity. But honestly, our our living spaces just were not designed that way, and how you change that is beyond me. I mean, there are people working on it, so I get that. But uh, personally, I don't want to live in a vertical building, uh, and that's a resistance to change for me. I like to look out my backyard in the morning and see deer. I like that, and it's going to be difficult for me to change that. I don't know. So, how do you feel about change? Are you one of those people who embraces change whenever it comes, no matter what it is? Or are you selective about it, like I am? Like some things I like the changes about. I like this whole idea of AI, while it also can be potentially dangerous, it's really interesting and helpful. Um, you've gotten, we are getting right now a lot of activity about the dangers and the benefits of artificial intelligence, AI. And wow, that and so many other things, medical breakthroughs, all kinds of change. I mean, I wouldn't probably be here today if not for modern medicine, which is changing all the time. And that change, that particular change, is good because people get to live with less pain and for longer periods. In some cases, people's lives are kind of stretched out, and their quality of life doesn't match their longevity, which is that's a challenging issue too. Is it good to be able to prolong someone's life, even though their quality of life is gone, basically? These are questions that are difficult, and they're all about change. Okay. Well, I think that's all I have to say about change today. There's a lot more to be said, but I'm going to try to keep my show to my 10 minutes, which I know some of you appreciate. So, lastly, I'm going to thank all of our sponsors. I'm going to thank the Virtues Project because they produce a lot of the good words that I talk about, the good words and ideas, thoughts. And I really, really, really want to thank all the people who watch this and send me comments about it and say agree and or disagree with me. That's fine. But talk to me about it. I really want to know what the people who take the time to listen to me have to say. I want to know what's important to you so that maybe I can talk about some topics that you'll find really special. Okay, let's do something nice for somebody else today and do something nice for a whole bunch of people if you have the resources. And of course, some of you do. And thank you for all that you do to help other people. Let's go out there and be the light, be that source of love and hope and peace and joy and even change. We can be that person to one or excuse me or more other people, and that's a great thing. This world is challenging for sure, and there are a lot of suffering people. So do what you can to be part of the solution. And I will talk to you in a couple of days with another thought or word, and I hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing you. Bye bye.